Okay, good morning. We are team number 4, conformed by Axel, Ian, Mariana, Mia, Melanie, Miguel, me, Eva, and Jesus. And we're gonna present our integrative learning product. And starting with the introduction, Melanie, could you please? Thank you.
Introduction. Oil is one of the most commonly used fossil fuels in the world, but it causes serious harm to the environment and is a major source of urban pollution. The damage starts with how we extract crude oil from the ground, a process that disrupts ecosystems, uses of natural resources, and destroys habitats. After extraction, the oil needs to be transported over long distances using ships and trucks. Unfortunately, this often leads to leaks and spills that pollute land, water, and wildlife habitats.
Okay, now we move to the theoretical framework.
Oil pollution. Bill Friedman in Environmental Ecology, second edition, 1995. Oil pollution can be caused by any spillage of crude oil or its refined products. However, the largest and most damaging pollution events usually involve spills of petroleum or heavy bunker fuel from disabled tankers or drill platforms at sea, some from barges or ships on major inland waterways, or from blowouts of wells or broken pipelines on land.
Oil spills are more common than you might think, and they happen in many different ways. Dozens of oil spills occur in the U.S. waters each year. Most of these spills are small, for example, when oil spills while reducing as ship. But these spills can still cause damage, especially if they happen in sensitive environments like beaches, mangroves, and wetlands.
Um, Oil discharges to the marine environment may occur from natural seeps, ocean-based and land-based sources. Constant sources of large and ongoing oil input in the marine environment include oil-polluted stormwater and sewage from municipalities, discharges from numerous sources in coastal facilities, gaseous hydrocarbons from cars and motorboats, and many more such as land or recreational coastal activities that are not always linked to marine oil pollution.
The posed problem. Oil pollution is one of the most vital environmental problems nowadays, seriously affecting ecosystems, human health, and the international economy. It arises chiefly from oil spills, leakage in pipes, transporting it, and inappropriate disposal of petroleum products. However, it also forms a byproduct when fossil fuels are burned. The impact is long-ranging, affecting marine and terrestrial life, the air we breathe, and resources vital to our survival. Pollution is on aquatic ecosystems. When oil spills into oceans, rivers, or lakes, a thin film of this material of the surface prevents sunlight from getting through and also blocks oxygen exchange in the water. Such an effect means that fish and other types of shellfish will be asphyxiated.
The hypothesis. We need to talk about the effects that oil pollution could have in the future if we keep using it deliberately. To start, we have severe biological consequences such as biodiversity loss. Experts like the biologist Steve Morowski say that at this point it is practically impossible to completely clean up all these oil spills around the ocean. No matter if we do it for years, the damage has already been done, and it will lead to animals dying because of it, like the coastal bears that suffer from the loss of the insulative capability of feathers and fur, which can lead to hypothermia. But this is only one example. There are other reasons why the oil pollution will definitely end up with our species, unbalancing the ecosystems and affecting the effectiveness of other natural barriers that protect us from natural disasters. This takes us to the next consequence: human health impacts. Prolonged exposure to oil and its byproducts, such as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, can lead to a range of health problems in humans, including respiratory issues, skin disorders, cancer, and neurological damage. Communities living near oil-polluted areas, especially those relying on fishing or agriculture, will face heightened risk of toxic exposure through contaminated water, air, and food. In the future, this could lead us to develop new diseases, and with this, the risk of having to face another pandemic becomes higher.
Now we have testing the hypothesis. The formulated hypothesis stated that the combination of living barriers and biocides will reduce surface water pollution by at least 40%. The floating barriers were designed to capture and channel plastics at lower collection points, while the biocides aimed to degrade both hydrocarbons and microplastics present in the water. This prediction was based on previous studies that demonstrate the effectiveness of both tools individually under controlled conditions. However, the experiment posed a challenge testing the interactions of technologies in a real marine environment, with its unpredictable and dynamic conditions. Then the study was concluded in two highly polluted maritime zones. One of these areas located near an industrial port exhibited a significant accumulation of hydrocarbons, while the other, situated in an ocean current, was known for concentrating large amount of plastic waste. In the over 2 months, floating barriers were installed and monitoring and museums were periodically applied to assess the result. Drones captured aerial images of affected areas and water samples were analyzed chemically to measure the concentration of microplastic and pollutants.
The conclusion is that oil pollution has a significant and far-reaching impact on the environment, particularly in aquatic ecosystems. When oil enters the water, it forms a toxic layer that suffocates marine life, disrupts natural processes, and harms species at all levels of the food chain. The immediate effects are devastating, with many aquatic organisms such as fish and marine mammals and birds suffering from poisoning, loss of habitat, and exposure to hazardous substances. Long-term consequences include the destruction of vital ecosystems such as coral reefs and mangroves, which provide essential services like shelter, food, and breeding grounds for countless species. Oil pollution also severely affects water quality, making it unsafe for both marine life and humans. And the chemicals in oil can persist in the environment for years, slowly breaking down and continuing to harm the ecosystem over time.
And these are the sources that we investigated in order to make this, yeah, and that's all. Thank you.